move this out.
Mhm.
Pretty good. Okay. I'll make sure I can see everything. Okay. Stongo, Volacka, Elijah. And today we're doing for sentence building and Mvskoke structure, we're doing lesson 5, which is present tense. So we're finally like in the realm of, I guess, general statements, right? Not just commands. Those was our first part of like general statements, but now we're moving on to like, I think sentences you would really use every day, right? That's kind of what we're going for. So make sure I don't want to skip anything. Okay. First things first, review, because it's been a week. So what was the verb we covered last week? For anybody, do you remember what verb it was we covered? So we're on this one. Oh, let me change my color. Nice, omeda. Nice, the verb was omeda. Okay, number 2, what does omeda mean? What does it mean? You can type it or you can unmute, either way.
To be.
Nice, to be. Nice, okay. What 3 sentence types did we cover with that verb? So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3. We did 3 types.
Questions.
Questions, nice. Then what's the opposite of a question?
Make a statement.
There we go, statement. That's what I was looking for. Statement. Statement. Let me see if there's a chat. Statement, nice, nice. Okay, we're looking for one more. So we have questions, we have statement.
Negation.
There we go. Negation. Right, so for each one of these, what is it? Let's do a statement first, because statement's the base one. So we're saying blank is blank, right? I'm gonna say blank is blank. That's how I'm gonna do that. Okay, for questions, what do we add for the question?
Doa.
Nice. It's the, well, I guess more specifically, that way it's for each of them. It's the D, right? D. D questions. So in that case, we have the D, we have Doa, Doeya, etc. Right? Okay, and then for negation, what do? We add the
Dogo.
nice dogo. Dogo. My kid looks hilarious. Dogo. Nice. Okay. Nice. So our statements, right? Let's look down here so we can actually see it in order. So statements, bozi dos. Bozi dos. Negative with that dogo. Bozi dogo dos. Bozi dogo dos. And then questions. Bozi doa. Bozi doa. Nice. Perfect. Okay, I wanted to try something today. We'll see if it works. But I wanted to play Kahoot with everybody. So this is something that we use at our classes in schools. This Kahoot, it's a fun game that allows you to review and kind of quiz yourself while you get to compete against your fellow classmates and just have a good time. So we're going to go ahead and do it. Continuous guest. There we go. Okay. So the way it works, go to either of these items. So either go to this website, or if you're on your phone, you could use this, but I would use the website even on your phone. So really I would do is this one. So www.kahoot.it. And you can either put in this number or you can do the QR code. Either one will work. I'll give everybody a few minutes to do that. I'm going to change the settings real quick to make it friendly for everybody. It's okay, Beth. Who knows? One of them is real and one of them is not. Okay, so I'm gonna have a few minutes because I know there's 13 of us in here. So I'm gonna imagine maybe not everybody can, but I'm gonna give just a few minutes for everybody to kind of shuffle in, and then we'll start. I think I'm sharing sound too, so I think you guys can actually hear the little song that plays that Kahoot. Give me just a few more minutes, and it's okay because even if you're still trying to get on, once we start, this game pin here, that game pin will still be on the screen. It'll be, I think, on the bottom around down here. So if you're still trying to get in, you can join a little late. It's fine. It'll add you to the roster and everything. So if I start too fast, don't worry, this will come. I'm going to give one more minute. Okay, and before we start, I'm going to explain the rules real quick. So the way it works is it's testing your accuracy and your speed. So the faster you answer, the more points you'll get, but you won't get any points if you're wrong. So you want to be right and fast. So it'll actually show us as it goes on who's getting ahead of who has the most points, who has a streak, who lost their place, and at the end it'll show us first, second, and third place. That way you can kind of, compete against each other, especially if you know each other. You'd be like, I want to be better than her, or I want to be better than him. So it's a really good tool we use in classrooms and stuff. It allows students to both practice their what they've learned from Mvskoke classes, but also at the same time be competitive while they do it and get a prize for first, second, and third. So pretty fun. I enjoy it. Okay. Remember if and the other thing too, keep in mind, if you don't interact with it, sometimes, especially on your phone, it'll turn off and then it'll log you out. So be ready. What's going to happen is you're going to see a question. There's going to be 4 answers. There are going to be different colors and shapes. You match the correct shape and color answer that you want to give. You'll basically see for the first question, you'll more or less see what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and start. So we're doing commands and Omada review. What is the Mvskoke sentence order? So here's our options. We have to click on the one that's the correct option. Object, subject, verb, object, subject, object, verb, or none of them. Yeah, 4 seconds. Nice, the majority of everybody got it. So Mvskoke sentence order is subject, object, verb. We'll always think of solve, subject, object, verb, solve. And no matter what, at least have to remember verbs always last. So no matter what, we know that at least it's going to end with the V. Nice. Awesome. Okay, next. here's where we're gonna see. So right now, Kian's at the top. So see if anyone can take Kian down. True or false? The 5 beginner conjugations all require you to take off ida before the final step. True or false? Nice. Most people got that one right. True. Remember, because for ida, or say we do home ida, for all of the beginner conjugations, that first step is always drop that ida. So we have home, and then we add our us, ux, ibus, igot, agis. Right? So all of them require us to get rid of that ida first. Okay. Next. Ooh, that's coming for you. Okay, which of the below says do it, the simple command? Is it mijibus, mijux, mijagit, or mijas? No, that's the thing. That's the other thing. So as Desiree just said to the side, you can't change your answer. That's why that speed matters. Speed and accuracy. You have to get it right the first time. So yes, the answer is mijas. So the reason it is not mijibus, let's go through the ones that people got some confusion on. It's not mijibus because this ib right here, that made it that soft, more polite. So that's more of the polite command. And then it's not this one because we see the K in there, ux, that makes it a group command. And then a geeks, that's the one that we covered last week, that makes it the let's command. No, that's not necessarily a command, depends on how you look at it. Ooh, Beth has an answer streak so far, but Amy's coming for Kian's place and Kian's not letting it go. Okay, true or false? You can use the polite marker for simple commands and group commands. Nice. The answer is true. So our simple commands, that's the us. Our group commands, that's the ux. You can, it becomes ebus and ebucks. K's always look weird on this thing. So home bee bus, please eat, and home bee bucks. Please eat, everyone. So you can add the polite marker for both of those. Yes. There is one you cannot add it to, but I don't remember if that's a question. So if it's a question, I'm not going to give the answer. But if you want to know later and you don't remember, you can go over that too. Heck yeah, answers should go forward. Okay, which one says please eat? Is it home bus, home bucks, or home go? Ooh, so close. Yes, the answer is home bus. The reason it's not the yellow one, because that's the group one. It doesn't have the please in it. It just says everyone eat. Nice though. See, and things like this is a good chance for you to see like how much have you caught on, what do you need to practice again, stuff like that. It's a good kind of way to see yourself, like, oh, how much have I remembered? Which ending do you add to say let's? You add igot, agis, ibas. Nice. Okay. It says to put them through. So igot, that's the don't. That's the don't command. And nobody guessed this one? Good. We haven't gone over that one yet. That is an ending, but it's not it. It's not what we're here yet for. Ebucks, that's the group with a polite on it. So the correct answer is agis or agis for let's. And the easiest way to think of that is think of home bagits. I always think of that. Hombageets, let's eat. Hombageets. That's a good way to think of it. Because that's something we hear a lot. Heck yeah, man, no one's taking Kian down. Sold his first place. Which one says don't eat it, drink it? Which one says don't eat it, drink it? Is it iskigo, hombas? Is it hombageets, iskas? Is it hombigo, iskax? Or is it hombigo, iskas? Ooh, that one split. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, we're looking for don't eat it, drink it. Okay, so this one says don't drink it, eat it. So that's not what we're looking for, right? That's the opposite, right? We're looking for don't eat it, drink it. So that one starts with don't drink it. This one says don't eat it. That's good, but this one is the group command. And the reason we know it wasn't supposed to be a group is it didn't say drink it, everybody, stuff like that. So that one's the group command, so it's not that one. This one ends with geets, which is let's. So this one says let's eat it, drink it. So this is the one we're looking for. Don't eat it. You go, don't eat it, drink it. That one person. Don't eat it, drink it. Nice. That one was a hard one. I specifically wanted to see that one because that would be two sentences in one. So that was a really hard question. Nice. Okay, where does the conjugated omada form go in a sentence? Does it go in the beginning, middle, or end? Nice, nice. At the end, because right, it's subject, object, verb, and omada is a verb, so it's always at the end, the verb. So omada. Good. Dang. There's all this movement, but Kian's keeping the top. You add ego to make omada negative. True or false? It is false. False. Now, we haven't talked about it yet. Ego is something we make a negative, but it's for verbs, other verbs. For omada, we use a special one. We use dogo. Dogo. So we don't use ego with omada. We use dogo. The only times we're going to see that ego maybe with it is when it's used as an auxiliary, which we'll go through what that means. But as a general, just omada statement, we need dogo. Okay, we have a few left. Which sentence below is a question? Nijibas, konanwa donchas, hokuida hidoa, and mahaya the ways. Which one is a question? Nice. Remember, all questions in Mvskoke are gonna end in a, or d. Those are the three sounds, right? So, bus. And on top of that, if it ends with an s, it's not a question. Not a question, that's a statement marker. So, home bus with the yes, donchas with the yes, does with the s. So it can't be any of those. It's doa with that sound. Nice. Heck yes. Which sentence has dogo in the right spot? Is it joga hija dogo does, dogo joga hija does, joga hija does dogo, or joga dogo hija does? It's like a tongue twister. Nice. So the answer, right? We gotta think subject, object, verb. And if you remember from last week, it's always dogo and then omada. It's always that order. So everything else first, then dogo and omada. So in this case, student, dogo, does. That's the correct one, right? It can't be, excuse me, this one, because the omada isn't last and it has to be last, right? And in this one, omada's last, but dogo's in the middle of the word dogahija. So it's like book, not looker. I am, which isn't quite right. Where we need to be a student, not I am. Nice. I'm trying to give you some hard ones, make you really think about it. Okay, only two more. Which form is we are? Is it dos, doastes, dois, or does? Nice. It's dois. I can't put the line in it, but that's okay because a lot of times people won't. So we have to be able to recognize it without the line anyway. But with the line, dois. The watchkis is y'all. This is the y'all form. Y'all are. And where the word y'all has that ah, the watchkis has that ah. That's how I think of it. The watchkis and y'all. Okay, I think we're on the last one. Yep, last one. Which form is I am? Doiskis, does, doia, or D? Doiskis, does, doia, or D? Nice, dois, nice. The last two are questions, and the one on the left top, that one is you. So nice, everybody got that one. Yeah. Third place was Amy. Does a little dance too, I like it. Second place was Josh. And first place, no one could tear him down, it was Keen. No one could tear Keen down. Nice job. Good job, everybody. And then usually after this too, it'll also give like a little overview of like, I think it's do this guy. It'll show us our overview. I think, yeah, view summary, we could look over to see percentage of everything. So it's a pretty cool thing, just pretty fun. If you guys ever want to try it, and it's free. So, but yes, good. Okay, I wanted us to really make sure we remembered last week because it's going to be the building blocks for this week. Now, if you weren't here last week or you didn't do great, that's okay. We got this. Don't worry. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's a very good way to make sure you actually have it down because you're having to do it fast too. Okay, so we're doing present tense. Present tense. Okay, so what is present tense? When we want to talk about things happening now, we speak in present tense. I.e., right? I am eating, we are playing, they are talking, right? Things that are happening now. It's also used to talk about things like habits or factual statements, things like that. So I run on Tuesdays. That's like a habit or a fact that I do. I don't eat meat. That's a fact that, I mean, it's not true for me, but someone who's vegetarian would be. It is raining. That is a fact. It is raining right now, right? Things like this are present tense. These are present tense. I'm going to put chat real quick. Yay, good. Yes, you have to be a quick thinker, I know. It's kind of stressful. Okay, so what I want you guys to do in the chat, tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Which are in present tense? Which are in present tense? I'll give you about 2 minutes. So tell me which numbers are in present tense. Right, remember that's what I'm talking about. Now, habits, or factual statements. And there should be more than one. There should be more than one. There's a few in there that are present tense. Nice, nice. Most people are on the right track. Most people are on the right track. I think the biggest thing I'm seeing is either one person adding one extra or missing one. So I'm going to clear these out so we can see it. Ready? Let's look at the answer. The ones that are in black are in present tense. So it was 2, 3, 5, and 6. These were the ones in present tense. Now let's look at why, right? We ate potatoes. Ate is past tense, right? I've already done it. I'm not doing it now. It's already been done. She is running. This is a good way to tell. Is running, right? We use is to kind of show it. That's why I am eating, we are playing, right? The bear eats grapes. That's a statement about whether it's now or in general. So just in general, eats grapes. That's correct. Are you going to buy a soda? Going to is an important thing to think of. Going to is a way we show future in English, right? So I'm going to swim tomorrow. You can't say, I'm going to swim and you're doing it. Does that make sense? Otherwise, you're not swimming yet. Where is my book? That's a statement. I mean, it's a question, but it's not within a time period. It's like right now. Where is my book right now? You're not asking, where's my book tomorrow? Where's my book right now? And then they are in the middle of a meeting, right? In the middle of, right now, right? And then I will is our future. I will call tomorrow. Nice. Nice, and can put past, nice, present, continuous, present, simple, future, subjunctive, present, continuous, and future. Hey, you can write all those down if you want to look into those more. Nice, awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so now let's look at what that means for us. Well, we need to know an action verb. Today we're doing present tense for action verbs, and I specified that on our first page. And there's a reason for that. Tomorrow we're going over the other types of verbs. So what is an action verb related to Mvskoke language? An action verb in Mvskoke is something you do, generally something physically or mentally done, and it's a verb that you usually control. That's important, right? So our examples here, we have to talk, right? You're controlling when you're talking, you're doing it consciously. To sit, I have to decide to sit. Like, I'm not just going to suddenly sit, right? To sing, I have to choose whether I'm going to talk to you or sing to you. To run, I can choose to walk. I can choose to run. I can choose to not go anywhere and stand still. And then to eat, that's something I have to physically do. I have to eat, I have to drink, right? So these are all things we control, we physically or mentally do, right? And the reason mental is important is because things like think, that's still something we control. It's something we're actively participating in, but it's in your head. You're not having to create something when you think. You can think in your head, but it's still an action. Nice. Okay. So forming present tense with action verbs. Now it's going to be a little interesting. We're going to go through this piece by piece. So let me get out my pen. Okay, forming present tense is in general actually pretty easy. Okay, so don't let's stay with it. It's pretty easy. We're going to follow a similar step we've already taken in previous conjugations, specifically like omega. Let's learn the most basic form of doing present tense. So number one, way up here, we take that ida form, right? So we got our omega, right? I put here, most action verbs are going to end with ida. That's important. The verbs we're going to learn about tomorrow don't end with ida usually, right? So ida is going to usually be an action verb. Next thing, drop that ida, right? Get rid of it, just like before, right? Same, already the same thing. This is going to be the hardest part. This guy, number 3. Add the L grade to the final vowel. Now, what the heck does that mean, right? Don't worry, okay? Really, for simplicity, think of just really V and just really short E. V is going to become an ah, so becomes ah, I becomes E. Those are the most important ones. If you want to really look into what does L grade mean, what are all the things that's going to happen, I wrote down in this guide, if you have it, a grammar of Mvskoke, Creek, or grammar of Creek Mvskoke. by Jack Martin. Page 88 and 89 goes into detail about what I'm talking about. So L grade, what that means, the grades means we do something to the verb itself, the root. This right here, without its ida, is what we call a root, right? Because the ida means dictionary form. Home doesn't do anything by itself, but it's what we use to add onto. So a grade means we're messing with specifically the root. Now in English, we don't really do this, but in Mvskoke, we do this sometimes. L grade just means lengthened grade, which is why becomes a, I becomes e. So those are the main ones. The other ones I think will kind of come naturally. These are the ones I think we need to look at and actually consciously think about. So to a, I to e. Okay. Now home is an O, and if you look into the page, it's next to an M and a P. So it's not going to change. It's just home. We're going to add the next thing. Add the person marker. Person marker. Now we're going to go through what that means. In this case, I added A. The letter I, A. Home bay. And then the last thing we do, we add an S on the end to make it a statement. Home base. Home base. Home base. That means I am eating or I eat. I eat or I am eating. Nice. And how is it I? Well, that's what this person marker was. This I there makes it that I am doing it. So we're going to look at the full list of person markers. So really, right, take our verb, drop ida. If it's a V, the last one in the group, right? So let's use a one ida. What? A one ida. Get rid of the ida, right? So now we have one. We have to, if it's a V or E as the last one, we have to make it long. This is the last vowel. So it becomes one I. And then we add our person marker and the S, a one I. That's why in the dictionary, if you look up to go, you'll see ayida. Right? When people say it, they say ayes. Same with afida, to go about. But when I'm saying I went, I'm going about, people say place. That's why it's this L grade. V becomes A, short E becomes long E. As long as it's the last vowel. So that, get rid of that. Come here. If it has a V or an E and last it doesn't, it's O, we're good. Add our person marker, in this case, the I, and add our S at the end, and we're done. So, besides having to look for that V and E, it's not too bad. I want to talk about what a person marker is before I show you the list of them. Okay, so a person marker. It shows who is doing the action, right? In Mvskoke, we don't use I or you or she very often. Ani, Jimmy, Immi, Boomi. We don't use that very often. We usually just use it in the vowel, in the verb. So for omida, we know how we changed it, right? Bozi dois. I'm a cat versus Bozi do whiskies. You are a cat. This I, this it's. Those are person markers. We didn't call them that yet, but those are person markers. So you've already seen the person markers. We're going to see they're actually rather similar. Each form starts similar, but ends different. That's the person marker. Same for action verbs. The person markers are what make the different things. So these should look pretty familiar since we've already looked at omida. Right? Okay, so first things first. First person singular, aka I or me. So we're saying I do or I am doing. We add I. So it's home base. Home base. Right? Think of an omida. Is that green hard to see for you guys on?
It's kind of, yeah.
Kind of hard, okay.
With your eyes, yeah.
Let's do a dark blue. Let's do that. Okay. Well, bam. Oh yeah, it's much easier to see. Okay. Right, it was dois. It also had the I, right? It also had the I. So for present tense, I. For first person, I am doing, I do something, you add an I, home base. Home base. That means I eat or I am eating. Second person singular, aka you. So you do or you are doing, we're gonna add those same endings. Itski, itchy, itchy, and itchy, right? Dowitskis, dowitskis, don't just, right? It comes from the same place. It's this, it's and it. So hombitskis, 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 all the same place. You eat or you are eating. Third person singular, he, she, or it, right? So he, she, it does or is doing something. It's this guy. Now, why do I have it in parentheses? Because this conjugation is what we call the null or no conjugation. We don't actually add anything, but I can't say hopes. That's not right. That doesn't work in English, in Mvskoke. Hopes. It has to have something. So this E always exists if it has to. So it comes out. Hombis. Hombis. But you hear how it's not a long E, it's a very short one. Hombis. 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 He, she, it eats or is eating. First person plural, aka we. So we do or we are doing. We add that E, like in dois, that E for we. Home bees. Now we accentuate it. Home bees. Home bees, right? We need to hear that E. So we eat. We are eating. Home bees. Second person plural, aka y'all. So y'all do or y'all are doing. It's ask and achk. So dowatskis, same place, comes from the same place, right? So hombotskis, hombotskis. Y'all are eating or y'all eat. Third person plural, they, last one, they do or they are doing. With that E, because it needs something, with that E. Hombagis, hombagis. They eat or they are eating. Hombagis. And remember, because it's that no E, right? It's short. Hombagis, not hombagis. 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 Nice. And it has that asterisk because once again, we have to remember whether or not it's a verb that has a different form, right? Versus legis or legida for one person, gogida for two people sitting. So we have to know which one it is, right? So this would be legis, because you can't say no multiple, but this one, gogis, it doesn't use this extra og, even though it kind of looks like it does. Let's use a bogida. A bogida. A bogis. It doesn't use that form. If it's one of these words, it comes back to the no form in that last place because it's already, the verb itself is already showing a multiple. So we don't need to add this extra op, right? Kind of like we did for omida, right? If we use hobuidagi for children, we don't need to use dowagis, we can use dos. Same kind of idea. Nice, okay. So remember, for me, I always think of it as I am doing something, you literally add an I on base. You are doing and y'all are doing, both talking to somebody, right? They're very similar sounding, it's ask, right? But the y'all has the same ah and y'all. He, she, it, they're over there, they're not part of this, they do nothing. We, the same sound in we, e. And then this one, once again, I don't really got a special one for it. You just gotta know it. Ak. Ak. It just happens. Ak. So, looking at them one more time. We have home base, home bitskis, home bis, home bees, home botskis, and home bogis. Now let's practice this because this is, I know a big thing to try to add on. So let's practice it, right? I have our steps on the side. I'm gonna get my green back out. I think that'll be very suitable. Okay, we're gonna take that ida form. We're gonna drop that ida. We're going to, if it's a V, the last one becomes an A. If it's a short E, for that last one becomes a long E. Then we're gonna add the correct person marker and add an S on the end. For just because it hit me just now. Anybody who needs to be able to see that at the same time, here's the link to the drive right now. That way you can have that list up if you don't have another way to see it in the meantime. Because I can't have the list up and us do this at the same time, so that way you can see it. Okay, so this first one. I am drinking tea. First thing we're gonna do, what is the verb for to drink? You can either shout it out or you can type it in the chat. What's the verb to drink?
Iskira.
Yes, iskida. Okay, so what's that first thing we do over there? Or we did the first thing, I guess. What's the second thing we do?
Drop ida.
Nice, we drop our ida. So now we have isk. Isk. Okay. Isk. Does the last vowel in this group, is it a V or a short E? Yes. So we're gonna make it long. Long. Okay, next. Person marker. Up here. Says I am drinking tea. What is the person marker we use for I? You type it or you can say
A.
nice. The letter I. A. A. And then what's the last thing we do? Probably the easiest part. Do one more thing. Oh, I think I just saw something. Nice. We add our S. East case. East case. Now, we're not done. We have our main verb. But what are we drinking? Drinking tea, which is what? Anybody know what tea is in Mvskoke? Starts with a B.
Asi.
Nice, asi. Now, does asi go before or after the verb?
Before.
Nice, because our verbs always last. So asi. Iskes. Asi iskes. Nice. I am drinking tea. Asi iskes. Nice. We are running. 3 plus. What is our verb for 3 or more people running? I'll give you a hint. Starts with a P. It's one of the ones that to me sounds really funny.
Batakira.
Nice. Befakida. Befakida. So what's our first thing we do? Or guess second. We have a verb, so we gotta drop our ida. Gotta drop our ida. So now we have befat. Befat. Okay, next we have to look. Is that a V or an E? So the last vowel, not this one, this one. The last vowel. Is it a V or an E? Yes or no? No, it's an A. So we don't have to do anything to it. It stays befat. Now we have to add the person marker. We are running. Which one is for we? Nice. I took the capital E as long E, which would be correct. I've seen people do that. So I'll take that. The long E. Nice. And then the last thing we do, the easiest part. We add our S. We just add an S to the end. Befat geese. Befat geese. We are running. Befat geese. Befat geese. We are running. Nice. Okay. Y'all are listening. Y'all are listening. First thing we need the verb for to listen. What's the verb to listen?
Mabuhay. Mabuhay. Gera.
Yes,
Gera.
Mabohejeda. Nice. Okay, what do we do? Next step.
Drop the
Drop
ida.
the ida.
Nice. Get rid of that ida. Mabohej. Nice. Now, the last thing, the last vowel, so this one, the one closest to the end, is that a V or an E? Nope, it's not, it's an I, which means we don't change anything, we're good. The I just stays. Next, person marker, y'all, we're looking for y'all. What's our person marker for y'all?
Atsi.
Nice. Aski. And then what do we do at the end? Add our S. Nice and easy. Add our S. Mabohejachkis. 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 Nice. Y'all are listening. Mabohejachkis. Nice. And last but not least, she is looking. To look and to see is the same verb, which is what?
Ijira.
Ijida. First thing we do is we drop.
Ida.
Drop it. Nice. So we have hij. She is looking. What do we add for she, he, or it?
The null.
The null, which means just a placeholder E, and we end with our S. So he did already starts with a long E. So when we did this part, number 3, we'd already be fine because he did already have a long E, so it doesn't actually change. So he just versus if this was a purposeful E here, it'd be that he gees, which is we are looking, which is not what we're looking for. We want she is looking, he just. Nice. Okay, let's get the pretty font in here so we can see it. And I have each step, which is why that Google Drive, you can actually see and have the PDF of this presentation. You can keep that for yourself. You can see that breakdown. The only thing in this breakdown that's missing is that I didn't have the line on that. I just didn't have a way to write that yet. So it would be East case, but that's okay because when it's written in general, you won't see it. But let's go ahead and read all these. So we're gonna do it 3 times. I'm gonna say the English and then we're gonna say the Mvskoke 3 times. So I say, you say, I am drinking tea. Asi East case.
Asi iskes.
Asi East case. Nice.
Asi iskes.
Yeah, okay. This one. We are running. Bifakis.
We are running. Bifatkis.
Bifatkis.
Bifakis. Now this is important. That long Bifakis.
Bifatkis.
Bifakis.
Bifatkis.
Nice. Okay, now let's do this one. Mabohejatskis.
Mabohejachkis.
Mabohejatskis.
Nice. Mabohejatskis.
Mabohejachkis.
Nice. And one more time. Mabohejatskis.
Mabohejachkis.
Heck yeah. And then this one, last but not least, he just.
Aegis.
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 Good job. Now be careful. Remember, it's he just versus he just, right? He just. We got really hear in Mvskoke for that difference. But you guys did really good. Everybody pronounced it perfect. Okay. So, Sam Mahaya gates, which we know what that means, right? Practice, and a gates is let's, so let's practice. So on the left is our word bank. I'm going to read out the word bank. Repeat after me. Yahegida.
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 Nice to sing. Obanida or Banida.
Bandera.
Obanida.
Nice. That means to dance. Omeida.
Omeida.
Omegira.
That means to swim. Haida.
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 That means to make. Noflagida.
Noflegira.
Noflegida.
Aglobida.
Aglobida.
Adolgida. Or
Adolgida.
nice. And last but not least, Agidigida.
Agidigida.
Agidigira.
It means to study or pay attention to or watch over. Nice. Okay, so what we're gonna do is 1 second. Real quick, just because I can hear the wind, but you're good otherwise. Okay, so we're going to move that away so I can see it. Okay, do the first one. So the left side we're doing English and Mvskoke, and then Mvskoke English on the other side. So we are eating, and I'm going to change this to that dark blue. It's purple. Or sorry, not we are eating. We are singing. We are singing. So we need first the verb to sing. It's on our left. What is it?
Yahegida.
Yahegida. Oh. Put myself to drop. There we go. Yahegida. Okay. First step was what? What do we do after we have our verb?
Drop the era.
Nice, drop our era. So we have yaheg. What's our next step? Our next step is check for the V or the E. Does it end the closest vowel? Is it a V or E? No, it's
No.
not. It's an I. Yaheg. It's an I. I put it that a little low, but that's okay. Okay, so we're good on that. Next, we have to add our person marker. We. What is the person marker for we? I saw you say it.
E.
Nice, yes, E, that long E. E. And then the last thing we do, every time. We add our S.
Add a S.
Yes. So we are seeing becomes Yahegis. Yahegis. We are seeing.
Yahegis.
Next, she is cooking right now. Now, I wanted to include the word right now. Does anybody know the word now in Mvskoke? Or have a guess?
Dokos?
Ooh. Yes, but no. That's like a command.
I'm a mom, so
Yeah,
Don't
I
guess.
think we're like in general now. It starts with an H. I'm gonna say no takers. I don't hear anything. It's either heyo mat or heyo wat. So I use heyo wat. Heyo wat. Heyo wat. You'll notice it has that nasal heyo wat. Heyo wat. She is cooking, so we need cooking next. What verb on our left is to cook?
Noflegida.
Nice. No slave to that. Okay, what's the next step?
Drop the era.
Nice, we drop our ida. No slave is the last vowel in V or an E, a short E.
No.
No, we're good. Next, she is cooking. What do we add for she? Looks like someone was trying to do the mic, so I was waiting.
Eh.
Exactly. We add the nothing. So it's a short E in this case. And that means the last thing we do is add our S. And let's add our right now back. So it becomes hey what no flages. Hey what no flages. Nice. Okay, next one. They are swimming. We need
Ma-
swimming.
Mahaya,
Yes.
is it okay to ask a question?
Yeah.
So Piowa, and that's where we put our time conversation about what is going to be first when we
Yeah,
speak of that.
Usually time's gonna be in the front. Is a good way to kind of think of it. Time's usually in front. And we kind of do that in English too a lot of the times. We either put it at the very front or the very end. So we either say right now she's cooking, or we say she's cooking right now. But in Mvskoke, it can't be at the end because the verb has to be. So it's at the front usually.
But
Inga. So there's swimming. Our verb is omeida. Omeida. Right? We drop our ida. So we have to look. Next step is to look. If that's a V or a short E. No, it's not. I'm going through this one fast because we've had 3 now in a row that have an I, which doesn't make you practice that. So I was like, let's at least see if we can get something else to make you practice it. So ome doesn't have it. Move forward. They. What do we add for they?
Ake.
Nice. Ox with that no E, that short E, and we add our S on the end. Omeagis. Omeagis. They are swimming. Omeagis. Nice. Y'all work today. I added the word today on purpose. Anybody know what the word for today is?
Janita,
Nice. Mujanetta.
Mojanera.
Mujanetta. Mujanetta. Now, to work is what word on the left? So work.
Adotkira.
Nice. I don't get up. Okay, first thing, what do we do?
Drop the ETA.
Drop our ida. I don't. Okay, we have to look. The last vowel. Is it a V or is it an E? Or short E?
No.
No, it's an O. So we're good. Anything? We just make that O a little longer. A do. Next, we have to do our person marker. We're doing y'all. So what's a person marker for y'all?
Achke.
Nice. Ach. That E on the end. Ach. And then last but not least, we add our S. And let me add our today to the front. And it's Mujanita Adokachkis. Mujanita Adokachkis. Nice. You are dancing well. Nice. So let's start with the word dancing. What word on the left is the word to dance?
Obanita.
Obaneda. Obaneda. And some people drop that first O. I don't, so I can't. Doesn't make it sound right to me. Obaneda. Okay, next thing we have to do. What?
Drop the ida.
Proper ida. Oh, fun. Is the vowel closest to the end a V or a short E?
Yes.
It is. Exactly. So the V exactly becomes an ah. So let's take, I'm taking an eraser because this one is easier. So now then in that case, it's going to become Oban. Oban. And now we're looking for you. What's the ender for you? First marker.
Ichke.
Nice. I'm going to do this one. It's it, and then we add our S on the end. Now, you are dancing well. Right now, Obanetskis. That just means you are dancing. I want to say well. Kislin. So Kislin. Kislin Obanetskis. Kislin Obanetskis. Kislin Now we might not recognize he's that means good, right? So he's lean. This in on the end makes it well. He's lean, because you're dancing well. Nice. Let's move on to this side. So Hewa, Mvskoke, Ubonega, you DJs. Hewa, what was that word? We did that on the left side.
Now,
Mvskoke, Ubonega, what is that? Mvskoke, I saw someone say it. Mvskoke language. Mvskoke language. Agi DJs. So, our root, agi dij. Which verb on the left is agi dij?
Akidijila.
So what word is it in English?
To study.
Study. Nice. So we know it's study. Ace. So what person marker is in agi dijs?
First person.
Nice.
Singular.
I. Exactly. So now Mvskoke language, and then study I, or I study, however you want to look at that. So in normal English, now I am studying Mvskoke language. Or like I mentioned earlier, we often put the time at the end in English. I am studying Mvskoke language right now. Nice. A globus. A globus. Nice. So what does that verb come from? We know it's going to be a globe. Which verb on the left side has that root? A globe.
klopita,
Nice. Which is what?
to bathe.
Bathe. Nice. That A with a little long kids, okay? Is. That's the null, right? Is. So which one is null?
Third person. Singular.
He, she, or it. So in this case, we don't know the gender, so I'm just gonna choose one. Let's say she, just feel like it. She is bathing, aka just washing up in some form. I use like globus even if I'm showering. They're cleaning themselves in some way. Hunalijan hayijis. So first word, hunalijan. What is that? I don't have one on today, but mine looks like it could be one because I got wide leg pants. It's skirt. Skirt. Literally dress, honna, lijan, bottom. The bottom of a dress, skirt. Hayijis. That verb, that root is hide. Which word does that verb root come from? Hide.
To make.
Nice. To make. It just. What ending? What person marker is that? It.
Second.
What's it again?
Second.
My second, which is you. So in normal English, you are making a skirt. See, to me, when I look at that in English, we just added so many extra words in English. Legion, I just 2 words. Okay. Yahegagus. So our root is yaheg, which is which verb?
The hegida, to sing.
Perfect. To sing. August. What person marker is August?
Day.
Nice. They. So they are singing. They're singing. And the last on this page, omeyatskis. Omeyatskis. Omei is our verb root. Omei is what word?
Swim.
Swim. And then otsk. What person marker is otsk?
Y'all.
Y'all. Yes, so y'all are swimming. I don't know what it is about I guess, how sensitive this pen is, but I guess all my y'alls are always gonna look like a backwards N. So y'all are swimming. Y'all are swimming. Nice. Now let's make this the pretty font so we can see it all together at one time. There we go. Nice and pretty. Okay, we're gonna sing. We're not gonna sing it. I was looking at the word sing. We're gonna read it. I'm gonna read the English and then the Mvskoke. We're gonna repeat the Mvskoke. Let's do it 2 times. Let's repeat after me. So we are singing. You hate geese.
You hate geese.
You hate geese.
Haggies.
She is cooking right now. Hey, what? No slages.
Hey, what? No slages.
Ooh, I heard no slages. Remember, geese is only used in this case if it's we. So it has to be no slages. No slages. So ready? One more time. Hey, what? No slages.
Hey, what?
No
Hewa,
slages.
no slages.
Yes, perfect. They are swimming. Omeyagis.
Omegagus.
Omeyagis.
Omeyagas.
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 Y'all work today. Mujanita adokatskis.
Mujanita adotgatskis.
Thank you. I know that was a long one. So one more time. Mujanita adokatskis.
Mujanita adotgatskis.
Adotkatkis.
Nice. Okay. And then this one down here. You are dancing well. Heathlin obanitskis.
Heathley.
Yes.
Heathlin obanitskis.
Heathlin
Heathley
Obanitskis.
Obanitskis. Nice. Now we're gonna do this one. I'm gonna read the English first, and then we're gonna do Mvskoke. So I'm studying Mvskoke language right now. Hey, what? Mvskoke obonaga DJs.
Hey, what? Mvskoke Obanaga.
Obanaga.
DJs.
Yes, nice. DJs. I know it doesn't have those lines. There we go. That line went a little low. One more time. Hey, what? Mvskoke obonaga DJs.
Hey, what? Mvskoke obonaga adigijis. Agidijis.
There we go. DJs. Nice. And then this one. She, he, it is taking a bath. A globus.
A globe.
Aglobus.
A nice short one after that long one. A globus.
Aglobus.
Globus.
Nice. Now this is 2 words. Hunnalijan. Hayijis.
Hona Legion Hyegis.
Now careful. This is 2 C's. And that matters, right? Hayijis. It holds.
Ayijis.
Hyegis.
Hunnalijan. Hayijis.
Honor Legion. Hyegis.
Nice. They are singing. Yehegagis.
Hey, Gagus.
Gagas.
Yeah, hey, Gagas.
Nice. And last but not least, y'all are swimming. Omeyatskis.
Omayatskis.
Omeyaskis.
Nice. Omeyatskis.
Omayatskis.
Nice. Okay, I don't remember. Do we do? Nice. Okay. So this is. I'm gonna change it to. How about I change it to light? That'll work. Okay, so we have all of our forms. We're using the same verb for all. We're gonna use vijita, right? Which means to do. We're gonna make them into all these versions. I am doing. You are doing. He, she, it is doing. We are doing. Y'all are doing, and they are doing. And you're gonna tell me what to add. Okay. So we already know we're at the point. This is all gonna be Meej. Meej. So what do I add? For I am doing, I add what?
Ace.
Nice, ace. IS, me, Jace. You are doing. What do I add for you are? I saw your mouth say I didn't hear it, but I saw it.
Itchkis.
Itchkis. Me, itchkis. Right? Or the itsk. Right? You have a lot of options on this one. It's etc. He, she, it is doing. What would you add for that one?
Is.
Is. Is. Oh, that S looks a little funky. It's me just. Me just. We are doing it. What do we add?
Is.
Nice. East, me geese, me geese. Y'all are doing it. What do we add?
Itskis.
Hotchkiss.
Nice. Otchkiss. Or otchkiss. And then they are doing it. What do we add?
Akkis.
Nice. August. Nice. So let's say them all. Ready? In order. I say you say me Jace.
Me, Jace.
Me, Jace.
Itchkis.
Just kiss.
Mitchkis.
Itskis.
Me just.
Me, just.
Me, Jace.
Me geese.
Me,
Mitchkis.
Jace.
Me jockskis.
Me,
Jace.
Jackis.
Me joggis.
Mitchkis.
Jace.
Nice. Okay. So before I click on further, any questions? Anything you want to look over again or talk about? I'm gonna take silence as a no. Nice. And this is where we actually see it. So you can see it in the prettier version at home. You have your correct answers. Okay. Now, there are two other ways to form present tense with what we've already learned. Now, that might sound scary. It's not scary, I promise. So, this is the first one we learned. Basic present tense conjugation. That's where you take the ida, drop the ida, you do your L grade bit right here because you just have to remember L grade. Add your person marker, add S, right? So our word was Mvskoke. Well, Omida likes to play all the time. It likes to be an auxiliary. Now, what's an auxiliary? Everybody in class, when I say what an auxiliary is in a simple way?
It's a verb that helps us achieve something else using other verbs.
Exactly. Okay, like it's a helping verb. Yeah, it's a helping verb. It likes, for example, in English, we say I eat, but that does mean something different than I am eating. Am comes from is, right? To be. I am eating. It's a helping verb. It's showing I'm doing it now. Well, it doesn't have the same meaning in Mvskoke, but we do the same thing with omida, to be. So there's two ways to use it. This one I call the dos auxiliary. Really, really easy. You're doing all the same steps. So these are all the same. 1, 2, and 3 / 2.5. 2.5 being the L grade. Right? Now, instead, add a space and then add dos. Right, which was is. So literally, you are eating, right? Eat, you are, or is. So, Mvskoke, you are eating. Does Mvskoke have a gerund form of the verb? I want to say yes, but I think it depends on the situation. If you can give me a situation that you're thinking of, and then let me go from there. So give me an example you're thinking of in the chat. But yeah, so this one's very similar, just instead of the S on the end, add a space and then add dos. And then that S comes from dos, right? Because we have to add it with an S somewhere. Then the third conjugation is what I call omada conjugated auxiliary. Omada conjugated auxiliary. And that's because we make omada do all the work. So you take your ida form, and you drop the ida, and you add the null E, right? That means it's not the long E, it's the short one, null, right? Then you add a space, and you do the correct conjugation form on omada instead. So, right, home comes from the homada. We drop her ida. It needs that null E because it can't just be home. And now all the work is on omada, donchis, doiskis. That now has all the work of saying the you are. So this one is eating you are, right? All of them mean the same thing. Slight nuance differences, but not a big amount. So for the most part, it's the same thing. Hombitskis, hombiskidos, hombidonchis / hombidoiskis, stuff like that. So we always start with the first one, the basic one, because that's where they come from. And then you learn, oh, I can add the auxiliary, I can add the dos, I can add omega. That's why a lot of times you'll actually see like or hear people saying dos a lot in their sentences. It's because they're using this auxiliary dos. Like dos, dos, right? So like that. So this is a very common, this is probably the most common way to talk in Mvskoke with that dos auxiliary. We like to use dos. But all three are perfectly simple, perfectly fine, and mean the same thing. So she loves singing. Yes, so you can do that. The singing though, in that case, actually just stays in the ida form. So she loves singing would actually just stay as yehegida. So it's because that is like a noun form / a to be form, like it hasn't fully been done yet. So it would be like yehegida imolastidos. So she loves singing. Which I'll write here for you real quick. Yehegida. Can't think if that's spelled right. Can't remember if that's a los or los. So you might have to check me on my spelling, but I know how to say it. Yeah, but yes. Okay, so these are the three ways to do that. So hombitskis, hombitski dos, hombi, donchis, or doitskis. So there are three ways you can choose to speak. So when you're first learning, it might be easiest to say in the first one. Maybe you actually think it is easier to do the second one. I actually personally think it's easier to do the second one. So my brain will do that one faster than it'll do either of the other two, whichever one. I would recommend, no matter what though, if you have to start with 1 or start with 3, start with 2, at some point, make sure you learn 2, because that's going to be the most commonly used one on an everyday basis. Any questions about this? Before we go. Otherwise, I'm going to push the next screen. Okay, we're going to try using all 3 versions real quick. Basic, dos, and one auxiliary. So let's change this to, I want to use this guy. Okay, so we are looking, excuse me, hijida, right? That was this way. Hijida. We drop our ida. We have hij. What do I end for we? We are doing it. How does it end? In the basic one. We're doing basic first every time.
Is.
Is, we, right? Is. So our first one, hijis. Okay, those auxiliary. We kept everything the same, except at the S, we did a space and we add what?
Dos.
Those. Hiji dos. Hiji dos. The last version. We take it, we drop our ida. What do we add after we drop our ida? We add our null e, our I. We just need something, a placeholder. And then what do we actually conjugate for person? We conjugate nice. We conjugate omida. So what's the we form of omida? Should I start with that T and that O? Do. Has the same mouth shape as we. Do. We.
Luis.
Nice. Dois. Hiji dois. So we have all three versions right there. Hijis. Hiji dos. Hiji dois. Nice. That woman is swimming. So first we need that woman. That's gonna go first. Ma. Woman is hokti. Ma hokti. Okay, swimming was omeida. And we drop our ida. So that woman, what is that form for basic conjugation? What do we do? What are we ended in? I, the short E, is. Omeis, omeis, mahoti, omeis. That's conjugation form 1. Number 2, those auxiliary. So everything's the same, except that S on the end, make a space. We add those. Now we have an issue here. Oh wait, no we don't. I just forgot to add the E. Never mind. Forgot to add the E. Omeidos. 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 That's important. It. If it's omeidos, then it's we. Omeidos. And last but not least, the one where we conjugate our main one. So omeida, we drop our ida. We have ome. We add our null e, omeye, and we conjugate omida for that woman. What form is for she or he or it? And goes. So 2 and 3 in third person singular looks the same. Omeidos, omeidos. Because dos is conjugated for third person singular. And this is the conjugation for third person singular. So it looks the same. You can't tell the difference on that one. You are cooking. The word for cooking is no plagida. Drop our ida. We have no plage. For basic conjugation, what do we do for you? It's nice. No plagitskis. We have itskis. It's the E on the end and then under S. No plagitskis. Okay. Next, we do everything the same except when we get that S, we do a space and add dos. No plagitski dos. No plagitski dos. For the third one, we drop our ida. We need a place marker, something. So we add that E. And now we conjugate for you are for omida. So what's the you are form for omida? This is why we had to do omida first. It's a lot to remember.
The witchkis.
No witchkis. Nice. No witchkis. Nice. So no flagitskis. No flagitskidos or no flagitowitchkis. All of them same. I'm making a skirt. Our first word, onnalija. Those are two ends, they're just connected. That might look a little funky. Onnalija. And then I am making, so to make is hayida. Drop our ida. Hi. What would be I am making? We add on the end for that first version, basic conjugation.
A.
Nice. Hayes. Hayes. For the second one, where everything stays the same, except we stop the S, do a space, add dos. Somebody want to say what number 2 would be or write it up for me? What would number 2 be?
Hayechkidos.
Oh, you're so close. But it's I am. You said you are.
Okay. Okay.
So you have that first part. I.
Yedos.
Hiatus.
Hayechkidos.
Hiatus. You were so right. You just used the wrong person marker. Hiatus. Nice. And then last but not least, for omada conjugated auxiliary. Right? What would that one look like? That's the one where the first verb isn't really messed with. The omada is messed with. So how does that one look? Any guesses? It's gonna always start with this, that verb root. It's gonna start the same root.
Haydoes.
Nice. How you doing? How you doing? Nice. How you doing? Perfect. Okay, so let's get the pretty version so you guys can see it. Okay, so we're gonna say all of them because there's so many of them. We're gonna say them once, right? So I say you say the first one. We are looking. He G's.
EGs.
EGs.
He G dos.
EG2.
EG2.
He G dois.
EG2.
Nice. Now let's do that woman is swimming. Mahokti omeyis.
Mahokti
Omeis.
Omeis.
Mahokti omeyados.
Mahokti
Omeis.
And Mahokti omeyados.
Mahokti
Nice. You are cooking, top right. No fajitskis.
Not like
The second one, no fajitskidos. Nice. And the third one, no flajidoitskis. Nice. And then I am making a skirt. Hunnalijan hayes. Hunnalijan hayedos. Perfect. And hunnalijan does. Heck yeah. Nice job, everybody. Any questions on these guys? Otherwise, I'm
Very good.
good. And next. Okay. For just a few minutes, I wanted to see if we could form the sentences. So you can either form the
Exhausted.
sentence answer in the chat or say it out loud. I'm going to do a simple action. I want you to say it in a full sentence. Okay. So they're always going to start with Mahaya and then conjugated in present tense. So for example, Mahaya Noslages might be like, I'm cooking pancakes, right? Okay, so our first word, do this one. What does Mahaya do?
Running.
Okay, so how do I say that in a full sentence? Mahaya. It's the substitute verb. What's our verb? Starts with an L.
Ligger.
Nice, lick it up. Lick it up. So I'm not gonna go through the steps with you. Make that a full sentence. Mahaya runs. So either write it in the chat or say it out loud.
Mahaya lekidos.
Nice. Mahaya liquidos. That's one of the 3 versions you can use. Anybody else want to use a different version?
Mahaya lekis.
Mahaya lickis. Or Mahaya lickis. Because that's the last sound. You have to make it long. Lickis.
Likis.
Yeah. Or Mahaya lickis. I guess both 2 and 3 would be the same in that one. Nice. Okay. So next one. How about
Almeida.
Omeida? Nice. Omeida. So either write it out or say it out loud. It would be Mahaya and then Omeida as a full sentence.
Mahaya omeyados.
Mahaya Omeidos. Or
Omeyas.
Omeis. Mahaya Omeis. Nice. Let's do one more. Try to think what we've learned. Well, how about this one?
Nojida.
Nojida. Nice. Nojida. So tell me Mahaya is sleeping.
Nojas.
Nice. Nojas. Mahaya. Nojas. What's the other form we could do?
Nojidos.
Nojidos. Nice. Heck yeah, perfect. Aboka Ojatska. Do y'all have any questions? I'm gonna show you the thing that you have on Google Drive today before we leave, but otherwise, any questions before we go? Was this
I have
one
a
hard?
My question is between like the shorter conjugation like nojus versus nojidos. Is there a difference in like the sentiment? Like I know there's a difference if I say in English I eat versus I am eating. Like one sounds more general versus the other one sounds more like in the moment. So I was wondering if there's any like deeper difference between those 2 different conjugations.
So generally speaking, the timing of it, I think, is really minute, and in everyday speech, it won't be very noticeable if you said the wrong one. But I remember an elder telling me once that the difference was like how far into eating she was. So I was like, what's the difference between like home base, home videos, and home video waves? And she was like, well, one I could use if I'm just about to eat, like if the food's in front of me, I haven't eaten yet, or I started eating. One feels more like I'm in the middle of eating, and one feels more like maybe I'm near the end, or I've been eating for a while, or like I'm trying to explain to somebody what I'm doing. So that's the difference I've understood. So home base, you could be doing it soon. Like it's the food's in front of you, you haven't started yet, but you're gonna eat in like 2 seconds. And you can still say, I am eating home videos. Which we do in English for like to sleep. I'm sleeping. Well, you're not sleeping if you said I'm sleeping, but you're about to sleep. So home videos, I am eating home base. And then home videos could be, from my understanding, anywhere within the the time period of eating, you're eating. So you've already started eating, you're near the end of eating, and then home videos, from my understanding, she was saying it was like if someone asked her what is she doing and she was like explaining, I'm eating. So that's how I understood them to be differentiated. But that's such a small detail that it won't be noticeable if you said a different one in different places. And it's the most common for people to use that dose, probably because that's the like I'm doing it in general time period. But that's a good question, and it's one of those that still kind of eludes me. I'm always kind of learning more about that difference, but it's pretty minute, it seems like so far. And I'd love to really pick on more elders' brains to really figure that one out. But that's the best answer I got for right now. Hopefully we can get more picky on everybody's brains to figure out more specific details, but that's what I understand for the difference.
Okay, Mado.
Any other questions? Okay, then in that case, let us go over here, but so I can see. For Google Drive, which one more time I want to share in the chat, just in case. So here's our worksheet, I guess that's the word, worksheet for today is our present tense action verbs. So what's happening now, I have all of our pieces, and I used Wanayada for our example on this, so that you can actually see that V changing to an A for our example. So that way you actually see all of the form steps happening to get Wanayas, which means I am tying it. Wanayas. We have our person markers chart. We have our 3 forms shown on each one. And then of course, on the back side are our practice sentences. And I have it so that you have to practice every form. So I, you, we, all forms in every present tense type. So basic conjugation, dos auxiliary, and conjugated. I'm going to conjugate auxiliary. So I have it so you can practice all 3 of them. That way we get practice with all. And I already in the answer sheet section have the answers for that worksheet. So if you do it, you can already get your answers today. You don't have to wait till tomorrow, they're already in there. And I already have the PDF for today's PowerPoint in there. So then tomorrow morning is when I'm going to add the ones for tomorrow's class. So today we did action verb present tense, and I'm sure it was a lot. Tomorrow we're doing stative verb present tense. So tomorrow might be a little hard. That's okay. Bear with me. Because once you learn present tense, all the other tenses are really easy. And I say that because in present tense, right, we have to remember A, isk, E, all that stuff. Well, those things are going to stay the same for every tense, whether it's past, present, or future. So once we know that, we're good. So present tense, once we got that, we're safe. It just means that when it's your first time doing it, it might feel really hard. So practice what you can tonight for present tense. For action verbs, it'll probably make tomorrow a little easier. But we'll practice through those. If you have any questions, make sure to save them and we'll go through them tomorrow. And yeah, otherwise, I shall see you all tomorrow if there's no other questions. So, Mado, everybody.
Mado.
Mado.